What's going on, guys? Welcome back to today's Sunday analysis. Today is October the 15th, 2023, and we're looking at USDCAD to see what we have going on, what it did last week, and what we anticipate for it to do next week. So, looking at last week, we saw that price was undecisive. There were some entries, and then a lot of the times it was very undecisive, so not too many entries last week. But what we saw last week was that we were in an external premium range and an internal or a fractal premium range as well. Now on the weekly time frame, we see that price swept through all of this liquidity, and then when it swept through all of this liquidity right here, it shifted in market structure by taking out these highs with huge displacement right here, leaving behind a order block right here. So with this huge displacement right here, there's a lot of imbalances that still need to be rebalanced, and I could see that since we're in a premium zone, I want to see price pull back down a little bit into this range to rebalance it, and then to ultimately see it continue moving higher. So intraday, I can anticipate price to be going lower. Now also, if we zoom in, let's take everything off, we see that there is an imbalance right here, a small fair value gap right here that price has yet to rebalance. So I could also see in the next couple of weeks, potentially this week even, price pull down into it, rebalance it, and then continue going higher if that's what it wants to do before it rebalances all of these imbalances right here. Oops. Now, going down to the daily time frame. Okay, today's going to be a little bit of a shorter stream because it's just a continuation of what happened last week. So, on the daily time frame, here's the external premium range, external discount range. Now we see that price did tap into this daily BISI fair value gap before it rallied higher. Now, with this rally higher, we see that once it broke this high right here, it created a shift in market structure. And right after market structure shifted right here, it left behind a small fair value gap right here. Now, when price went back to rebalance this fair value gap, which it did pretty much instantaneously, it shot straight up. It went down, rebalanced it, and then bounced all the way back up higher. So now we know that the market has shifted in structure from bearish from October of 2022 all the way to July of 2023 is when it tapped into the daily BISI fair value gap, and then it continued going higher, or it rallied higher. So once it shifted in market structure, here's a good level right here. We could measure with our fib from the low of this to the high of this. Here's our discount zone. Price did manage to tap into our discount zone and continued going higher. So from what we see so far, we are in a bullish market until price shows us otherwise. Okay, so right here on the daily time frame, these two lines right here are the weekly fair value gap that we see right here. So keep that in mind, okay, because we want to see price rebalance this area and also tap into the discount zone before it wants to continue going higher. Okay, so this is what we have on the daily time frame. Price swept through this liquidity, again shifted in market structure here, pulled back to retest it, tapped into the discount zone, pushed higher, but it didn't balance this weekly fair value gap just yet, and also we could refine it to this daily fair value gap right here. So we could see price pull back into this fair value gap, and then if it respects it, then we know that price is going to continue, or is likely to continue going higher if this fair value gap gets respected. Now, if it gets violated, we could see price run through it, pull back into it, and continue going lower to rebalance this area right here before it makes its larger move higher. Okay, so this is what we have on the daily time frame. We have a balanced price range right here with this SIBI and this BISI right here. Price pulled up, now is retesting it. Now if it respects this level, we can go into the lower time frames like the 15, 5 minute or 1 minute time frame to look for potential intraday long positions. Now we want to keep the higher time frame bias in mind when we're trading the lower time frames. So on the higher time frame, we see that there was a shift in market structure. Price rallied higher after it respected the daily BISI, pulled back into the discount zone, and then rallied higher again. So we can anticipate that price is likely to do the same thing until it shows us any reasons otherwise that it wants to start going lower. Okay, now going on the 4-hour time frame. Now I remember last week I did mention that there is a 4-hour SIBI right here that price is going to pull back into and reject. Now it could have done two things. Once it pulled down, it could have disrespected it, pulled back into it, continued going higher, or it could have pulled back into it, rebalanced it, and then respected it, continued going lower. Now if you watch the previous Sunday analysis, the one from last week, you can see that we did talk about this and price did exactly what we thought that it would do. It ran lower, pulled back into the 4-hour fair value gap, and respected it. Okay, so once this move right here that allowed price to rebalance this 4-hour SIBI left behind a large daily BISI right here. Now this huge imbalance is calling to get rebalanced. Okay, so I would like to see price tap into, which it did tap into the discount zone right here, but I would like to see price rebalance this area and then continue going higher. But it could also violate this BISI, pull back into it, and then come back down into the weekly fair value gap right here for it to rebalance. Now right above this weekly fair value gap, we have a small liquidity pool right here that still needs to get swept. Okay, now everything up here so far has been rebalanced. This fair value gap has been rebalanced with this candle. This fair value gap has been rebalanced with this candle, and all of these candles right here. Now this large daily BISI right here is yet to be fully balanced, so I would like to see price run through it, rebalance it, tap into this weekly fair value gap, which is also in the discount zone of this fractal daily range, and then I want to see it pull up even higher. And you know, it's not going to be clean anytime it runs higher or lower. It's never going to be clean, so expect a lot of movement. Now if we go down to the 15-minute time frame, we see that price colored outside of the box of this 4-hour fair value gap, consolidated a lot in this range, broke below it, pulled back into it, but keep in mind that it's respecting the 50% zone of this 4-hour fair value gap. So if we mark it with our fib, this is what ICT calls the consequent encroachment, which is just the midpoint of any range. So going back down to the 15-minute time frame, we see that when price went into the premium zone of this 4-hour fair value gap, consolidated, then it went down below it, respected it, broke below it, pulled back into it, created relatively equal highs, but we could see that the bodies of these candles closed below this midpoint range of this 4-hour fair value gap. Now, we know from studying ICT that wicks do the damage and bodies tell the narrative. Okay, so the wicks did the damage up here when they ran into the premium zone of this 4-hour fair value gap. But the bodies are telling me that since they're closing in the discount zone below the midpoint range of this imbalance, that price is likely to continue going lower, which is exactly what we see it did. So here is that large range that I want to see price rebalance coming into next week. Okay, I want to see price rebalance this range. Now, it did tap into the discount zone right here, but it didn't tap into a fair value gap. It didn't rebalance anything just yet, but I still want to see price, completely rebalance this entire range right here coming into next week, and then ultimately tap into this discount zone right here of this large daily range, so it could tap into so it could rebalance this weekly fair value gap and then continue its way going higher. Now, is this what price is going to do? I don't know. You see, I don't know what price is going to do, and neither do you. We don't know what price is going to do, but what we do know is what price has already done. And from what price has already done, we can kind of get an idea of what it is that it's trying to do and why it's trying to do that. So, why did price rally higher after it consolidated right here in this range? Why did it rally higher and then start to reject between 1.367 and 1.369 right here? Well, because when we go to the higher time frames, we see that from this entire range, when we mark out our levels with our fib, we see that this is our midpoint. So anything above our midpoint is a premium zone, okay? Price is expensive. Anything below our midpoint level is a discount zone. Price is cheap. So when price made this large rally higher and it got very expensive, people started to sell off. Now, the markets wanted to accumulate more orders, but they don't want to accumulate orders when price is expensive. So they want to go back down into the discount zone right here to accumulate more orders, which you could see clearly as it did right here, before they made their rally higher up here. Now, why did it go up here to this level? Well, because if we clear everything, we see that when price retraced back into the discount level of this entire range, that there's an imbalance right here on the 4-hour time frame. So the reason why price pulled back into this daily range, daily fractal range discount zone, is to accumulate more orders, and then it rallied back up to rebalance this 4-hour fair value gap. Now, once it tapped into this 4-hour fair value gap, it began going lower, and it created a large daily imbalance right here that needs to get rebalanced. Okay. Now, on the daily time frame, it's not as large. There's still a fair value gap right here that we could mark out, and on the 4-hour time frame, this is what it looks like. So the high of this box right here is 1.36368. The low of this candle right here, if we look up here to this level right here, the low of this candle is sitting at 1.36368, which is right to the point of this daily fair value gap that we see right here. Now, on the daily time frame, this SIBI right here has been rebalanced. When price tapped back into the discount zone right here, it rallied higher, rebalanced this daily SIBI, and then started pulling back. It left behind this fair value gap that I want to see price run through. So anytime we're in a premium zone, I'm only looking for sells. And anytime I'm in a discount zone, I'm only looking for buys. So right now, since we're in a premium zone, I'm only looking for opportunities that show me it's a good time to sell. Okay? I'm not just going to go in there and just randomly take a sell position. No, that's not how it works. We have to be very accurate with the things that we do. So, since we're in a premium, I am only looking for sells in a premium zone. I don't want to buy the market when it's in a premium zone because it's too expensive. I would like to buy when price is cheap, which is in the discount zone, when price is discounted. Okay? Since we're in this red box, which is this fractal day PD array, I'm only looking to sell because price is expensive. So when price is expensive, I'm wanting to sell. Okay? See, we can see right here on the 15-minute time frame, this is the same candle that we saw on the 4-hour time frame that tapped the iceberg of this daily fair value gap, 1.36368, and the low of this candle up here is 1.36368. It tapped the iceberg of this fair value gap right to the tick. Now, since the daily time frame just rebalanced this SIBI right here, I'm anticipating that price is going to pull back down because it respected it and it rejected it after it tapped into it. So on the 4-hour time frame, we see the same exact thing. Of course, price pulled back up into it, respected it, and rejected it. So this daily fair value gap right here, I want to see price run through it. I don't even want to see it respect it. I want to see price run through it. Now it might come down here a little bit and consolidate a little bit, might pull up even just slightly even, and then just continue going lower. But ultimately, I want to see price run through this daily fair value gap and then ultimately rebalance this weekly fair value gap. Okay? So this is pretty much what it is that we're looking for next week. Okay? In a premium zone, I'm not looking for buys, I'm only looking for sells. And in the discount zone, I'm not looking for sells, I'm looking for buys. Because when we're in a discount zone, we don't want to sell the market when it's cheap. We want to sell the market when it's expensive. That's why it's important to mark out our daily range PD arrays. Okay? You know, you can mark it out with a red and green box or whatever you want. Mark it out however you like to mark it out. But I like to mark it out with some boxes just to know at all times which range I'm in. Okay? So, looking at Monday of last week, right here. Let me go on the daily time frame. Okay? So, this was Monday's candle. Monday was the candle that created this fair value gap right here, since it didn't rebalance this imbalance right here and it ran straight into the discount zone. Tuesday was indecisive in the discount zone. Wednesday was preparing for the launch while it was in the discount zone, and then Thursday created its rocket launch move. So Tuesday created the low of the week, Thursday created the high of the week. Okay? Thursday pulled up, rebalanced this daily SIBI right here, and if we go to the lower time frames, this daily SIBI also overlaps this 4-hour fair value gap. So this is just another confluence that price is going to run lower. Okay? Or at least pull back, rebalance, and then displace lower until it draws into another point of interest, which in this case would be this weekly fair value gap right here. Alright, so thank you guys for tuning in on this week. Let's see what we got going on. Should be an interesting week. We have a lot of news, a lot of high impact news coming this week, so we should expect a lot of volatility, as well as, again, what's going on in the Middle East. That's also going to really affect the market, so be careful. If you're not confident with the setup, if it looks good, but your gut is telling you not to take the trade, listen to your gut, because a lot of the times your gut is always right. Okay? So bear that in mind when you're trading. If you don't feel confident taking the trade, remain on the sidelines. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. The market isn't going to go anywhere. It's always going to be here. But what's important is that you protect yourself and your trades. Now, if you do see some nice setups and you are confident with them, don't hesitate to take your trades. This is not financial advice. This is just my opinion. I'm not here to give you financial advice. I'm here to show you and explain to you what I'm learning and walk you through my journey. So this is just what I'm looking at for this week and what I anticipate price is going to do for next week. Now, if you see something different, that's absolutely fine. You can. Feel free to leave them in the comments below. We can discuss. We can talk. Why do you see something different? You know, maybe you caught something that I didn't. Maybe I caught something that you didn't. Leave it in the comments below, or go ahead and join the Discord channel. We can discuss it in Discord. You know, so always keep your guard up, protect yourself, protect your trades. But at the end of the day, the goal is to succeed and win. So until next time, please leave a like on this video. It would really help out. Leave a comment. If you have any questions, leave a comment. Anything you want to talk about. If you want to join the Discord, link is in the link in the description. And I will see you guys next week.